Hey, what's going on, guys? It's David here from Genzio. We are in Bangkok, Thailand. This is the GM podcast. I'm here with Simon. Simon, how are you doing, man?
I'm fine, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Had a nice travel here, kind of jet lagged, but I'll manage today.
Yeah. So, Lyft.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Tell me about Lyft.
Well, Lyft is this protocol we're building where we actually try to extract real-time data from various sources, which are off-chain, and then make it possible for to be able to analyze it actually real-time, so that anybody can use it basically on-chain but also off-chain. Yeah, so that's actually what we try to do.
So, I understand you're on more of the technical side of things, right? So,
Correct.
how would you explain this to somebody who's maybe a newer user, and how would you maybe onboard them to understanding this?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. So I think how you should be able to see this is, I'll give a clear example. Imagine that you're streaming something on Twitch, and you want to analyze this or you want to leverage this data real time for like marketing purposes, or like even for betting markets or whatever is going on live on the stream, you want to bet on that. This is an ideal use case for the Lyft platform that we're building. So meaning that like what it actually does is the data is streamed to a Lyft, and then at the same time there's AI models that run or AI models that run over this stream data, and it processes it. So anybody can create his own model. It's processed by that model, and then at the same time when that model outputs the data, you can leverage that data on chain, for example, betting markets. Or like off-chain for analysis or marketing purposes as well. So that's actually how it works on a, I think, not so technical level.
Yeah, so very AI driven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So, okay, well, that gets me to one thing for sure. What are some of the misconceptions of AI?
I think one of the misconceptions is that at the moment it's kind of seen like a hype, but we try to like. I feel that everybody tries to put like the label AI on it at the moment, but we feel like that at Lyft we can actually bring value with the AI we're bringing on the table here. It's really needed for a platform to succeed, and it's something we couldn't have done without it. So I think on that level, I think this fits like what we need actually at Lyft.
Okay. And for yourself personally, what have been some takeaways from being a part of Lyft in this journey?
Yeah, what we feel is that there is a lot of interest in what we're trying to build, and that's mainly because before all of this, before AI, before blockchain, and before the combination that we are leveraging right now, there was just no technical possibility to solve this like in a meaningful and mostly like economic way, right? So there was really no possibility to make this cheap, so that it could be leveraged at scale. And we feel right now that we are here right now that we can do it, and that we're like basically the first company that's trying to pull it off, and we hope we succeed, obviously.
I'm sure you guys will. I'm sure it was. So why wasn't it, accessible to do?
I think until now, without proper AI models, you would have to run like lots of resources on the backend side in a centralized way as well to actually make this possible. And not even that, but it would also take a long time for the models to actually bring something achievable on the table that is like makes it kind of real time. Obviously, it's never real time, but we try to make it as close as possible to the source of the data that comes in, like say 1 second or even less. But previously this was just not possible. And also on the decentralization side, if we make it so that like lots of nodes in the network actually work together to store the data, to process the data, we can do it in a much cheaper way than it was possible right now, right? In a centralized way, you have to pay, for example, AWS, which I think anybody knows is pretty expensive as well. So yeah, that's why I think right now we can do it, and it wasn't possible earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So in these early stages of, Lyft, for example, we're thinking about tomorrow. If we're thinking about 5 years down the road, where do you see Lyft?
I hope we can be like this player on the market that can actually let anybody like stream data via his mobile phone. And like the AI models will be so streamlined that you can actually leverage your phone to also create these models on your phone, but also run them, that you have like this kind of nodes that earn you Lyft rewards while running the nodes on your phone while you're on the way. So that we can create like this big network of decentralized nodes all over the world that process this data at real time and make it possible for anybody to use it.
Okay. So, with these incentives, what are some of the rewards one could receive?
Yeah, a very good question. So how it will work is that anybody that wants to stream data needs to pay Lyft, which is our native token. And this token will then be used to pay the people that actually create the models and that run the nodes on the network to process the data with these models as well, right? Next to that, Lyft is also a gas token on our own chain called AINet, where we actually leverage this to store some of the hashes of the data that we actually capture. And this is to make sure that the data that we store can actually be proven to be true. And this is very important on chain, obviously, because you have like this gap between on and off chain, right? And you need to be sure that the data that you get from off chain, which is from streams, it's from everywhere, that this can be proven to be true and from the real source. And then you can be sure, if you leverage it on chain, that you're working with the correct data and that it's not like counterfeited or something like that.
Okay. All right, cool.
But so in short, yeah, like you can earn Lyft rewards by either running your node or running a node in the network or creating AI models.
All right. Nice, nice. So I got to ask you, Simon, what's Simon's role in Lyft?
I'm the the architect on the tech side, meaning like everything that's related to the nodes. So the node software that we create, as well as writing the correct like the contracts that will bridge actually the chain with the node software as well. And then yeah, just architecturing the whole design, like how are these nodes going to work, which modules can be run as like a node runner, because there's like 4 different kind of modules that you can run. How is the data actually stored? How can you prove that the data that we capture is true, that there's nothing happened in between with the data? So that's everything we try to take care of.
Okay. I mean, I guess I got to ask as well, how is the data stored?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the data is stored by the node runners, but only if they run like a storage module. So we have 4 kind of modules, and now I gotta go deeper into those modules, obviously.
Let's go there.
Yeah. So let's start at the stream, right? Let's take the stream as an example. So you're streaming through Twitch or something like that. You stream your data. We'll have like a browser extension that you can run that just captures the data for you and that streams it to the Lyft platform. And then in Lyft, you have like the AI module. That's one of the 4 modules, where actually the AI modules are stored that people can create, right? So if you run a stream, you can select which module you want to let go over that. And then the output of this module is actually, or of this AI model, is actually a blob of data that is stored then on the storage modules, which is another kind of module. But before we store it, we actually first create a hash of that data and put it on our own chain, on AINet. Why is that? So that we can actually make sure that when the data is used later, that the exact data that was put in is actually the data that was used to generate you the results of a query you do on that data, right? So that's very important. So then it's stored on the storage modules. And then we also have like a ZK module. And this ZK module, or zero knowledge proof module, actually makes it so that if you do a query to the platform, because obviously you want to query what data is in it on the Lift platform, if you query for something, we automatically can generate like a ZK proof for you, which allows you to verify that the result you get back is correct without having to expose like all the data on the platform that was used to generate this result. That's the third module. And then we also have the coordination module, and the coordination module basically takes care of like everything else, right? So it coordinates with like the AI module and storage module to make sure that like the data is coming in, that the hash is put on chain, and that the storage module stores it. And then if queries comes in, then it will also take care of routing this to the ZK module and so on. So that's what it is for.
Okay. Plan of attack for DevCon.
We're going to talk with lots of people, like explain like what Lift is, and hope like lots of people are interested, obviously, and then look at partnerships as well, right? Because the tech is almost there. So the AINet will be live, I think, next week, hopefully. And the nodes, we have a very early version that we also hope to release like in the next couple of weeks. I will not be sure it's next week, but at least like before the end of the month. So hopefully we can find like lots of partners that want to work together with us, and also users, obviously, right? So yeah.
Where can we follow you guys?
We're on Twitter. We have our website.
Simon, it was a pleasure to meet you, man. I appreciate your time.
Thanks.
And I look forward to hearing more about this.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, what's up?
But it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a hive.
No, we do not understand. That we do not understand. Ladies and gentlemen.
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.